Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel.
In this episode, we're going to make the perfect cup of chai tea. We'll need Tea Masala Spice Seasoning. This is the secret sauce for the tea. I have a link in the description where you can order if you don't have this in stock in your kitchen. It is going to be the best tasting tea that you've ever had. We'll also need some ginger spice. You don't have to use that one specifically. And we're going to use raw ginger as well to add that kick and flavor. We'll need milk. I like using lactate milk, but if you prefer to use regular whole milk, that's okay as well. I haven't used like soy milk or almond milk. That might give it a slightly different flavor, so that's why I go with lactate, just to keep it neutral and keep the flavor as authentic as possible so all the other spices can really come out of the tea. So I'm gonna get a little bit of tea masala now out of the container. I'll need about a teaspoon, and sometimes if you really like the flavor of the tea masala, you can do like a teaspoon and a half, so you don't necessarily have to cut it down to just a teaspoon for the tea masala. Now for the ginger, we are only going to do half a teaspoon here. So just half. You don't want to overpower it since you're already going to add the raw ginger in there. And I like the flavor of the raw ginger more than the powdered ginger. It just gives it a better kick. But we add this in for the consistency of the powder across the entire concoction. So now I need about a tablespoon of ginger. So I'm cutting a little piece off. I'm gonna peel the ginger. You can use a spoon to peel the ginger as well. You don't have to use a knife. I think a spoon does it a little bit better so you don't cut most of the flesh out of the ginger itself. Alright, so the ginger's all crushed up. I'm just gonna scoop it up and put it in the saucepan and scoop the rest of it up too. Yeah, there you go. And I'm gonna grab some water. I'm gonna add about a cup of water. I don't use a measuring cup, I just kind of use my eyes to spot where that is. If you want to add a little bit more water, you can. Now I'm gonna pull out some more ginger. I love ginger so much. This is our frozen ginger. We prep it and freeze it in cubes so we can just pop it out whenever we're gonna cook. So I'm just gonna grab 1 cube of this. If you don't have any prepped ginger and you do want to add a lot of ginger, you can do the fresh ginger and do 2 tablespoons and get 2 really nice chunks of ginger in there. And you can see how big it is. I'm just going to drop it inside the saucepan, and it's going to melt and dissolve in the tea. At this point, I'm going to turn the heat to about 1 on the dial. Those are the fish fillets that are almost ready. And we need to add the tea. So I'm using these tea leaves. They are from Uganda, the Tea Garden brand, and I'm putting 2 scoops in. I've already put 1 scoop, so that's the second scoop that's going in there now. If you don't have tea leaves like this, you can use tea bags like Lipton tea. That's okay too. Allegedly, Lipton tea comes from Kenya, so you are getting some East African tea if you're using Lipton. I'm just going to stir this together to mix the concoction up a bit, and you'll notice the dial is turned up now. I'm going to move it to 5. Alright, everything is boiling. Now that everything is boiled, I can now add my milk. So I'm going to pour in milk to fill the rest of the saucepan. I don't want to fill it up all the way to the top. I want to leave a little bit of clearance or room just for overflow as the milk bubbles, as you're going to see in a minute. I probably go through a jug of milk a week. I drink tea so much, it's kind of ridiculous. So I'm going to let this simmer and sit on the heat at medium heat. That's about 5. You can turn it up. Right now it's up about 8, but I'm turning it down. And I'm just turning it down to 3 just so that I can do other things while the tea is cooking and all of the spices are being blended together. You kind of want to keep an eye on the tea as it cooks, or else that will happen. It will spill over, and you don't want that to happen. That's gonna kind of ruin your whole cooking experience. It's not the end of the world if it does and the tea spills over. So I do recommend to turn it low to like 2 or 1 to let it boil on low heat. But once it boils and gets to this point, hopefully yours doesn't splash over like mine did, your tea is essentially ready. Usually this process, the boiling, takes about 10-15 minutes if you have it set to low heat like 2 or 3. But as you see, 3 is kind of risky. It might spill over and you might have some cleaning up to do. So moving it to low heat so it can boil on low is a much safer approach. I'm just going to wipe everything down to clean the cooking area a little bit more. And I will let the tea continue to cook and boil on low heat. And I'll let this boil for just another 5 minutes or so as I get some other things prepared. Alright, and you'll notice that the foam or a layer is created on the top layer. That's just the residue from the tea as it boils. That top layer has cooled down, so everything underneath it is boiling and that layer is just sitting there, and that's good. It means your tea is ready. So I'm just gonna scoop some tea out. I am using this sieve to drain all of the tea leaves so I don't end up drinking the tea leaves themselves. And I just get that really delicious and remarkable tea in my cup. Y'all, I swear this is better than Starbucks. You gotta try this out. Alright, so the tea is ready to drink. Thanks guys for tuning in. Don't forget to like, subscribe to my channel, and enjoy your cup of chai tea.